What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different than what I've done before, but nothing too groundbreaking. I'm going to be talking about Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 HD Collection, which is quite the title, and there are several more incredible titles to come. So, for anyone who doesn't know, Kingdom Hearts, there's a ton of games in the series, and it's a series basically between Square Enix, makers of Final Fantasy and many awesome other RPGs, and Disney, who, of course, everyone knows Disney. But basically, the Kingdom Hearts games combine mostly Final Fantasy characters, along with characters from the Disney universes, so, your Disney princesses, Aladdin, all kinds of just crazy Disney properties. And the series also has a bunch of original characters. The most notable is the main character, at least early on in the Kingdom Hearts series, whose name is Sora. And his main homies are Donald Duck and Goofy. So, for anyone not familiar, that's kind of the gist of Kingdom Hearts. They're third-person action-adventure games. They have very light RPG elements, and they're just very fun. Generally kind of actually have similar gameplay and lineage to Dynasty Warriors, although generally you're only taking on maybe 2 to 5 enemies at a time, not quite the hundreds you might be familiar with from Dynasty Warriors. So in this collection, there is Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix, as well as Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. There's two kind of weird little side games. So you have Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix. And then there's also a collection of cutscenes, basically from two separate portable games in Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, A+ titles, and Kingdom Hearts Recoded, which again were both portable games. I think they're on either 3DS and or PSP or Vita. But yeah, so those are just approximately 3-hour long movies / cutscenes spliced together with HD graphics. Excuse me. So, the number one thing that you'll immediately notice if you check out this collection is the graphics. So while these were good-looking games on PlayStation 2 and their miscellaneous original native consoles, the upscale 1080p at 60 frames a second just looks amazing. It really blows me away. And the upscale in general looks great, and in addition, since most of the graphics are kind of, animated, cartoony style, everything still really holds up. Kind of similar to how a Warcraft holds up very well, just due to that almost cel-shaded but definitely cartoony nature of the graphics. So going on to talk about the individual games in the collection, of course you have to start with Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix. So Kingdom Hearts 1, I think it feels like everyone in the world has played this game, and then it's very almost rare in my experience that people have played the rest of them, myself included. So Kingdom Hearts 1, though, is a really solid game, especially back in the day. It has weirdly not really held up for me at all. The main problem being that it's very non-linear, and the game does not do a good job at all of hand-holding and telling you where to go. Fortunately, this is definitely dramatically improved in Kingdom Hearts 2 and beyond, but this is a game where, with Kingdom Hearts 1, that you definitely need a strategy guide, or you're going to spend a lot of time just wandering around, doing the same random encounters over and over, just hoping to find the next story-based progression objective. Having said that, the game is still definitely fun. The combat's pretty good. Once you go on and play Kingdom Hearts 2 and the other games, it's very hard to go back to Kingdom Hearts 1, because even though they very gradually made slight improvements to the combat, they really stack up over time over the course of the games that are included in this collection. So Kingdom Hearts 1, like I said, it's pretty cool. I like it, but definitely don't play it without a guide. So following that, there's Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. This is a very weird choice, I think, by them. So what they did here is they basically took Kingdom Hearts 1, they reused a ton of assets from it, but then instead of just hitting X whenever you want on a PlayStation controller to attack repeatedly, you actually rely on having cards. And so the cards have different numerical values, and different numerical values of your own cards beat your opponents, who are also kind of bound by the same system. And if you pick a lesser card than theirs, you'll get card break, and then your deck gets a limited number of cards, and then once you use them all, you have to spend a few seconds basically doing like a charge move in order to restore your card deck so that you can once again attack and cast magic spells and whatnot. So I didn't probably pay enough attention to the tutorials in this game, to be honest, but it just seemed like my cards were constantly breaking and I was getting just kind of destroyed by a lot of the enemies. Or even if I wasn't getting destroyed, I just could never attack as much as I wanted to because I constantly had to channel to restore my card deck in order to get more attacks. And again, the game seemed to reuse a ton of assets from the first game, so if you played that, it feels like a rehash. So definitely the weakest part of the collection, in my opinion. So following that, chronologically in the series, you have 358 over 2 days, which is an insane name, but if you're following along with Kingdom Hearts and kind of know what's going on with the story, there is actually definitely a good reason as to why it is called that. Just if you're asking someone to get for you as a gift, or if you're trying to describe this game, maybe on YouTube to someone, it comes off as being pretty insane. But anyway, yeah, so the movie is about 2 hours and 50 minutes long, I believe. It is actually pretty entertaining, especially if you have some kind of background knowledge from Kingdom Hearts 1 and or Chain of Memories. If you're going to it blind for whatever reason, I would just not recommend that because you'll just be lost and think it's a bunch of utter nonsense. Which, in the end, Kingdom Hearts kind of is, but it also builds towards some things and allows you to go as narrow or deep into it as you'd like. So, another thing with the two movies on the PS4 version is that they actually weirdly don't have trophies. The individual games do have trophies. So if you're a trophy hunter, like I somewhat am, just be warned of that. And interestingly, there's also PS3 equivalents. There is a PS3 Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD Remix and 2.5 HD Remix. And whereas the PS4 comes in one box, one disc like this, there's actually two discs for PS3. Again, with 1.5 being the first three games I've discussed. So you get Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, and 358 over 2 days. So that is the HD 1.5 mix. And then in 2.5, you get Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix, and Kingdom Hearts Recoded, which again is a movie. But yeah, so kind of weird how the PS4 versions only have 4 sets of trophies basically, while each of the games on PS3 have 3 sets of trophies for a total of 6. So continuing on then, Kingdom Hearts 2, and this is where I played Kingdom Hearts 1 on the HD remix. I thought it was cool. It didn't hold up as well as I remembered. But Kingdom Hearts 2 is just suddenly kind of taken over my life just completely unexpectedly. So Kingdom Hearts 2, it looks even a little bit better than Kingdom Hearts 1. Again, you got 1080p, 60 frames a second. It's looking and running just awesome. A lot of the new locations are very cool. I really like the Pirates of the Caribbean level. Late in the game, you go to the Tron universe. There's just a lot of cool things that happen in the game. The battle system, some of like kind of the rough edges are it's sanded off a little bit. Like everything's just a little bit more refined than the first game, but the small improvements definitely lead to just big, great results. It also kind of reminded me of Bayonetta 1 going to Bayonetta 2, where just everything's a little bit better, but everything being a little bit better is more than the sum of its parts. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2, definitely a pretty meaty game. I have something like 30 to 35 hours on it just to complete the main story. And there is tons and tons of endgame stuff to do. Similar to Kingdom Hearts 1, all these games basically can more or less take up as much time as you want to throw into them. And actually, the whole collection is something around like 200 hours they advertise, which is pretty nuts, but definitely accurate if you wanted to not only beat every game, but then do a lot of the side stuff. Take out Sephiroth, you know, everyone's gotta have a story of battling Sephiroth, who is just insanely powerful. But yeah, so Kingdom Hearts 2, definitely, so far, my favorite part of this collection. It's just such a rock-solid game. The story stuff gets pretty nutty. There's a group called Organization 13 that is wreaking all kinds of havoc. And of course, they have 13 members, and I believe all of them have X's in their name, so none of them are very traditional names. They're all very unique, distinctive names to the game. But again, if you do some background reading and stuff, the story is actually pretty cool. Definitely, let's say as deep as you want to go with it, you can definitely read all kinds of fan theories and whatnot on the internet. So it's a very cool game. Definitely very highly recommended. So the next thing in the game, or sorry, in the collection, is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix. I've actually just started this because I just poured so much time into 2 and just enjoyed 2 so much. So in Birth by Sleep, they actually somehow seem to make the combat even better. They did some more tweaks. They made an interesting lock-on system where if you hold, I believe, R1, it'll make like a circle reticle for a second or two, and then the longer you hover that over enemies and then release it, you will dash up to them and do a bunch of slashes, and it looks really cool and feels pretty badass. So I did that. They kind of tweaked how the magic and like attack decks work, but it's in a cool way, not like in Chain of Memories. Like they actually made it really fun this time. So I've definitely been enjoying that. So I'm only a few hours into that. Looking forward to playing it. They have a whole new cast of characters in the game, which I'm interested to see how those characters relate to the original characters. I know there's Aqua, who's one of the new characters, and she is actually in Kingdom Hearts 2.8 HD Remix as well, which is a separate game with also the same awesome naming conventions. And then I believe in Kingdom Hearts 3, she's also the main character, or from at least the footage and stuff I've seen, she is looking to be the main character unless they play Metal Gear Solid 2, where it's all a trick and somehow Sora or Roxas come back. So then to round out the collection, there's Kingdom Hearts Recoded, and to be honest, I have not really checked this out yet. But yeah, I know it's a movie. I think it's somewhere between 2 and 3 hours long. Again, on PS4 you do not get trophies, but on PS3 you do. So having said that, yes, that is the Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 and 2.5 HD collection, featuring all the coolly named games. So again, I just bought this game like it was on a good sale. I didn't have high expectations at all. I remembered Kingdom Hearts 1 being cool back in the day. But the collections just greatly exceeded my wildest imagination of how much fun I could have with it. So again, there's 4 games and 2 pretty long, beefy movies in the collection. You get at this point, if you look for it on sale, it's $20 to $30. I think retail might be $40. The game's relatively cheap, and again, you can put in literally 200 hours into doing all the side stuff and beating the main games and whatnot. So for that reason, I'm going to give the HD collection a 9 out of 10. At times, the story can definitely get incredibly convoluted. It is ridiculously convoluted, which can be a feature or a bug depending on what you want out of the game. And also, a lot of the core gameplay is just running around, slashing stuff with your Keyblade, jumping around and exploring these cool Disney-based worlds. But just overall, the games are so cool. Like, there's so many awesome cameos I even really touch on. You can tell as the series evolves, it's cool to watch how everything, just gets better and better and tweaked. And for the most part, they definitely do a really good job of improving. Overall, it's just great gameplay, great overall value. Again, you can make as little or as much as you want out of it, and even, for example, even if I just played Kingdom Hearts 2, I certainly feel like I got my money's worth. So again, 9 out of 10 Keyblades. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe this video. I really appreciate you coming back, checking me out. Have a great day. Adios.